And we are back with another episode of Nothing But Facts. I'm Trill.
And I am Clo.
And
Today's
we're
the 18th. I'm sorry to cut you off. Happy birthday to my mom. Love you. Keep being amazing. But we got 3 topics today, plus our Thursday night matchup tomorrow. We got Tennessee at Jacksonville. But today we're going to be talking about who's the early season candidate for MVP. Right now we're going to talk about 3 as our first topic. We got we got Dak Prescott, we got Action Jackson Lamar, and we got Patrick Mahomes. Our second topic, we're going to talk about players just wanting out. Minka Fitzpatrick is gone. He's in Pittsburgh. You know what happened in Miami, how they just tore apart that team. Now Jalen Ramsey said he wants out because he got into an argument with his coach, and then he's saying he doesn't want out. Jalen Ramsey needs to get out of there. And we're going to also talk about Big Ben and Eli. Eli's bench. Big Ben is done for the year. Drew Brees is out for 6 weeks from, running his hand into that monster Aaron Donald. It's a bang play. You could tell something.
His hand.
And
it wasn't even like the helmet.
Like, you know how fast he was going to, and how fast Aaron Donald was going to mess up your thumb like that? But yeah, let's kick into it. We got Dak Prescott. He has a 82.4 completion with 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. You got Lamar Jackson, I believe, around 560 passing yards, 126 on the ground, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 71.8% completion.
71.9.
Excuse me. And then Mahomes, 71.4. Action Jackson's better than that. And then 7-0, but 821 fucking passing yards.
Ain't nobody keeping up with that.
He's going to throw, he's most likely on pace. He's going to throw another 5,000 again. He's setting records. He's not even 25 years old, but those are my top 3. I just wanted to run down with you that I think are going to be the MVP candidates. Sorry to Aaron, unless he picks it up with that offense. Sorry to Brady, but it's a new age. As you keep saying, it's the year of the black quarterback.
It's just that simple.
Out of the top 10 fantasy quarterbacks, 5 of them, Deshaun, Dak, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson. Go. Great.
Just that simple.
They're taking over.
I feel like you can look at any single one of those 3 you just named as early season MVP candidates. Lamar, for the simple fact that people put all these limitations on him. People said he was going to do this. He was going to run 20 times a game, this, that, and the third. He doesn't know how to throw a football. 17 to 20 week 1. Then you go 24-37 week 2.
No interceptions. And I think it was 16 carries for 120, I believe.
And he got 4 of those carries just from taking kneel downs at the end of the game. So it was really 12 carries for 120 yards. And it's just like, if my quarterback can do that,
facts.
I don't have any problems at the end of the day. My defense just has to be a defense.
I feel like if Lamar ends up throwing for 3,500 and rushes for maybe 800, I'd rather give the MVP to him as opposed to if Mahomes throws for 5,000 and 40. Because it's just Lamar Jackson wasn't supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Nobody believed in him. If he gets that, and then I know I mentioned Dak, but the only reason I'm not too high on Dak is because they played the Giants, and then they played the Redskins, and now they're playing the Dolphins this week. No wonder he's the number 1 fantasy quarterback. Let's see what happens when they play the Eagles and they play all those other tough competitions, and let's see if Dak could really. He's a good quarterback, but of course, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 82% completion when you're going against the Giants, and then you're going against the Redskins, who are literally going to be in the top 5 when it comes to this year's draft, and then you're going to Miami. Not even Miami's coming to you. If you got a Dallas Cowboy player, you start him this week. I'm so mad Michael Gallup is injured for 2 to 4 weeks, but you start him. But yeah, I'm not too high on Dak. I'm more on the Mahomes and Lamar side, but as I said, I'd rather give it to Lamar just because he's not supposed to be here, man.
I really feel like I said, you can go with anyone. Mahomes, just for the simple fact is, he's actually on pace to have better record than last year.
He might have 100 touchdowns through 2 years.
And it's just the fact that he's
on pace to throw for 600-700.
He's through 2 games. He has 7 or 8 touchdowns, like we said already, with more passing yards than anybody else. Through 2 games, he has 800. He's gonna get 1,000 before the end of the first half next game. Even the fact that he's playing Baltimore, I know he's gonna get 1,000 before halftime.
Yeah, that's insane. He really might throw. It's over. It's gonna be maybe over 5,000.
He's a monster, and the fact that this is only year 2 for this man lets you know that, bruh, these guys really are the future of the NFL. Whether or not you want to believe it, you got to accept it at this point. They can do everything your favorite quarterbacks can do, and then they can make the plays that they can.
And they're young.
It's just that simple.
They're young.
No disrespect to Brady, Brees, Mahomes,
I'm so high. Rodgers is my favorite player
nature.
ever, and I'll take Patrick Mahomes right now, or I'll take Lamar right now, just because Aaron Rodgers is 35. He can't do. He could still do his stuff, but he's gonna get tired. He don't got that stamina anymore, and that's the big thing, especially when you got Lamar Jackson, who he's not gonna get tired.
best
Patrick
piece of
Mahomes not gonna
fantasy
get tired.
advice we can give you: if you have a player that's playing the Jets or the Dolphins, start them. It's just
And
that
try to pick
simple.
up that defense.
Any defense that's playing any
of
one
those
of those
teams.
teams,
Pick
you
up
gotta
the
pick them
Cowboys
up.
and pick up the Patriots defense this week because they're going to put up numbers, especially if it's full PPR and you're counting sacks. I don't even know the Jets quarterback's name. His last name is Falk, I think.
Luke Falk.
Please, mercy, have on his soul.
It's just Le'Veon out there by
because
himself.
Bill Belichick's going to have fun with him.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be just
And
freestyling
Jason
on
Garrett's
that man.
like, ooh, I'm not going to get fired. I might not even get fired this year because the competition is just awful.
Exactly.
Dak is out here like, yeah, I'm going to get paid, but in reality, it's like, Dak, look who you're going against.
Dak out here looking like the Black Peyton. Like, let's just keep it serious right now. He's out here making throws. He's making Michael Gallup and Jason Witten look like they should have been got paid as well. And it's just like, honestly,
I like that, but I also have to give it to you got to give it to Kellen Moore because he's making that offense look
The
lethal,
fact that
making Dak throw it more because Zeke didn't even go off last game. Week 1 he got the ball I think about 12 times. Last week I think he got it maybe like 16, but he only rushed for 111 and a touchdown near the ending. That offense is becoming more lethal, and I guess they're trusting Dak more to throw the ball.
it's
And it's a Boise State mind that you're getting.
Bro.
You're getting the offense from someone who went to Boise State, and anybody that knows college football knows Boise State is always putting up numbers.
It's just that simple. Kellen Moore was arguably the best quarterback to play for Boise State in school history. So the fact that he was able to come to the league, he doesn't really get too much playing time, but he goes from being a quarterback to the offensive coordinator and never leaves the team at all. That lets you know right there how highly they think of his quarterback mind and how he can draw up plays for Dak and anyone else in that offense. It's just that simple. You got 3 guys who have offensive coordinators who are going to make it work for them. You have Patrick Mahomes, who has Andy Reid, and we know how Andy Reid works with a mind.
Yeah.
He makes everybody look like superstars. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You got Greg Roman in Baltimore with Lamar. He was the same person that worked with Michael Vick and with Kaepernick. So he knows what a running quarterback is. He knows how to get the best out of him. And like we said, Boise State, Kellen Moore, that's the type of mind you want calling your plays at the end of the day. If it's not Bill Belichick or someone of that nature, that's the new wave. These college-type kids who can come in and use your quarterback to the best of their abilities.
It's
Make the
becoming more
offense
of a
around
passing
them.
league. You don't need someone with that mind to let that offense go.
Exactly.
The top off the defense don't even know what hit them, and you got 30 points before the third quarter's over. And I'm like, damn, we can't come back from that, coach. It's game over.
It's a wrap, boss. But transitioning into our next topic of all these players wanting out of their teams and everything, we can start with the Dolphins. I just feel like at this
I
point,
100% understand why.
at this point, don't blame the coach because it's gotta be calls from above him.
Yeah.
He's not making these calls. He's not making these trades. It's the fact that you got owners, GMs, and things of that nature who are just like, look, we see Tua coming in this next draft, maybe Trevor Lawrence in a couple years. This season they've already written off.
Yeah.
Already. So it's at this
And
point.
you know what's the sad thing? That the coach will probably get fired after. Let's say they keep him this year and he gets Tua. They need a lot of help. After everybody they traded, they're not just gonna get Tua if they do get him and like
They need
that's
to
it,
get
they're in the
Tua,
playoffs.
Jerry
And he'll probably
Jeudy.
get fired after that. And it's just like, bro, it's not his fault if you're trading away every single decent player that they have. All they have left is Xavier Howard,
And he gone.
and
so
he wants to go too. And it's like, how can you you can't blame him if you're a professional athlete. No matter what team you are, before the season starts, you 100% think you can make it to the bowl. Because that's the attitude you have to have. You just traded away Laramie Tunsil. You traded away one of your weapons, your number 1 receiver in Kenny Stills. You traded away your first-round pick from 2 years ago, an Alabama 5-star prospect, Mika Fitzpatrick. So, you can't blame the rest of the players on that team wanting to, can you send me somewhere so I can actually compete? And I'm not coming here Sunday and I have to be on the field 60% of the
Just
time
sweating.
because the offense can't do anything. It's a 3-and-out. Ryan Fitzpatrick dropped negative 1.5 points last week from what he did last year. The team's awful. They got no weapons to throw it to, and that's not even disrespecting Fitzpatrick because we all know what he did last year with Tampa. He
It's
could
just
play,
they
but
got
it's like
nothing
they
out
got
there.
nothing over there.
Devontae Parker, the only reason he's still on the team is because I feel like nobody will trade for this kid. He's
It's
looked
too injury
like
prone.
crap
You can't do anything
his
with him.
first few years coming out of Louisville.
Can't
He
do
was another
anything.
first rounder. So it's just like at this point, literally all they have is probably Kenyon Drake and Xavier Howard. Other than that, that team is just a whole bunch of people just run around. That's all it is. Getting conditioning in on Sundays.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Nothing less.
But yeah, going to Jalen Ramsey, what I feel with him, I see what they said, something about like that he would have to get traded is because like once you argue with like a coach, especially the head coach, you know, both sides just have to move on. And I kind of look at it as maybe as in like that head coach, at the end of the day, everybody's a grown-ass man. You're on a professional team. But that head coach, you still gotta, I feel like you respect them kind of like, you know, a father figure. Like, that's your coach. And if you're a real good coach, you're giving life lessons to these players no matter how old they are. And you're looking out for them. So I feel like once you start getting into an argument with them, I feel like that's like crossing the boundaries. So if you do have to trade Jalen Ramsey, I don't blame him. He came out, I think yesterday in the interview and said he wants to play with the Jags. He's focused for tomorrow's matchup with the Titans. I don't think it's him. I think it's more so the team that's just going to get rid of him because he argued with the coach. And I feel like it's the dumbest thing ever. You don't get rid of Jalen Ramsey. I don't even care if you get 2 first-round picks because Jalen Ramsey is that, like, he's the best player in this draft, in my opinion, and you're not going to see another cornerback for him. He's that. What other cornerback has come in since he has been drafted and is better than him? He's the best corner in the league.
You could try to compare Marshawn Lattimore, but
I don't.
That's about it.
I take Jalen Ramsey just
Exactly.
because of the size. I'm taking Jalen Ramsey no matter what. It's like he's that good. But the Jags better go get those 2 first-round picks. If you just get 1, you got finessed. If you get 2, you better be from a really bad team.
I'm looking at it more from Jalen Ramsey's perspective. Obviously, I feel like if anyone hasn't seen the clip, you need to go see the clip of him and the coach arguing.
Yeah.
First of all, he's sitting on the bench chilling. He already voiced his opinion. He was upset that the coach didn't challenge the play. He wanted it, but he went and sat down. Either DC or someone started to talk to him, and it was gone. Doug Marrone, the head coach, didn't walk back up to Jalen Ramsey while he's on the bench, sitting next to other DBs. And he said something that was either out of pocket, disrespectful, or all the above. But it got to the point where the other DBs next to Jalen Ramsey threw cups of water down just to make sure they could grab and hold Jalen Ramsey back. Because he obviously said something that Jalen didn't like, or he wouldn't like. It's just that simple. So at this point, I think it's best for everybody just to make the trade. There's never going to be water under the bridge. It's always going to be some type of tension between those two. We saw it this year in another sport with just basketball, with KD and Draymond. As much as people want to say it's water under the bridge, that relationship was never the greatest after he called him a bitch. It's just that simple.
Right.
Once one man disrespects another, it's hard for that relationship to go back without an apology, and a real apology at that, and a real understanding.
And it's not even that. At the end of the day, you don't, like, you guys are teammates, but that's it. It's not like you guys are childhood friends and you've known each other for a minute. Like, you think Draymond said that to KD? You think you really, he's cool with KD, but you think he really genuinely, he's in his inner circle? No, so he probably felt no type of way calling you on that. And KD obviously took offense to it because it's not like his brother or his, like, best friends calling him a bitch, like, you know, joking around how, like, all guys do with each other. Just, you know, you joke around with your friends. But obviously KD didn't take it in that aspect. He took it like, oh, I'm a bitch? All right, bet.
Yeah,
So
we
I'm out.
see.
I'm
That
out.
ruins relationships. So
That's how
at
it
this
be.
point, I say the best thing for everyone is to get Jalen up out of there.
Yeah.
Just don't send him to the Patriots. That's it, bro. Please. Please don't send him to the Patriots.
Bill will finesse it and be like, I'll give you 2 third-rounders and a 4th rounder. And Jalen Ramsey's going to be there for just somehow.
And I'll just be
You
like,
have
you
him
know
and
what?
Gilmore? Yeah, good night.
With the
Good
McCourty
night.
brothers at safety?
Good night. Good night. Big good night.
I don't even know who. When they on defense, they gonna cover everybody, and then when they on offense, you got nobody to cover them. It's Patriots another problem for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, just looking at these NFL players who won out, I feel like it's 2 sides to every situation. You have teams that are being poorly run, like the Dolphins, and it's just like, look, I won out for my own sake. I want to be able to compete. It's just it's for the player more than anything else. They don't even care about the money because 9 times out of 10, Miami's going to give you the most money you'll ever get because they need those players at the end of the day. And then you have the other cases where it is the player's fault, where it is someone acting. Honestly, I've read a story about AB yesterday. I think it came out on Sports Illustrated. My man, they interviewed 24 people who've worked with AB over the years, and he's done some pretty outrageous things. Like, he was out here.
Party on his...
Bro, that was the least of it. Like, he literally had a 220-gallon fish tank. He got it in May. Called the people back in October with an emergency. Bro, it was 2,000 dead piranhas in the tank. He ain't cleaned nothing. What are you doing, bro? Like, honestly, what type of life are you living at this point where you just out here saying fuck it to the fish, to everything, and it's like, just reading that article, even if everything isn't true, it's just the fact that he was accused of this stuff. People aren't just coming up with this stuff off the top of their head at the end of the day. There's something that happened in the beginning, along the lines, anything of that nature, that AB wronged these people. So it's just like, look, at this point, you got to really pay attention to the facts of everything. Sometimes, like I said, it's the players. You got AB situations where they just can't seem to control themselves, and then you have team situations like the Dolphins, and it's like
I don't like though how like they say like players are selfish and stuff. At the end of the day, you're playing and you're a professional athlete, especially when it comes to football, and you're putting your life at risk. And it's like, bro, if you're doing it for a team that you're not happy with, or you got tension with the coaches, or like your team's just not winning, you have every right to demand a trade. It doesn't matter if you're a superstar, if you're the last man on the roster. Obviously, if you're the last man on the roster, they're gonna look at you and be like, all right, you're released. But I'm talking about a top tier player. Yo, if they're not happy, they're allowed to grant a trade, and they want to trade. Like, people look at them like, no, you're supposed to stay, you're supposed to tough it out, blah blah blah. You're the face of this team. Like, bro, everybody wants to win at the end of the day. It's not no stat thing. There's a bunch of people that always want to play for stats, but deep down, everybody wants that championship. So, like, who are you to say, oh, you can't go over there? Why would you want to go over there? Why are you just quitting on that team? If the team is doing awful, you're not really quitting on the team. It's, especially when it comes to football. It's not like basketball. You could just throw a Michael or a LeBron out there and they could take a team to the finals, like you've seen LeBron do numerous times. It's football. You think Jalen Ramsey on the Jags is going to make a difference?
all 11 players on the field matter.
Come on, man. He's not going to make a difference. He can't win maybe get that game-winning pick for a team, but he can't be everywhere on the field. He can't be everywhere on offense. He doesn't even play offense.
Exactly.
You can't blame the player for this if they want to leave.
But transitioning into our last topic of the day, looking at Thursday night's matchup, we got Tennessee versus Jacksonville.
Ooh, you tripping? You forgot one.
Oh, I did.
You forgot the most important one. Mr. Eli Manning has been benched. Every time they interview him, first of all, Drew Brees is out for 6 weeks, and then Big Ben out with the elbow. But let's go to Eli really quick. I feel so bad for Eli because every time they interview him, just like last year when I don't even know if he was going to get benched, but it was talks of him.
They benched him for a week and then brought him back.
It's like you hear it in his voice. He wants to cry. And then today he was talking about it. He was like, yeah, when you draft the quarterback, you know what's going to happen if you don't play well, this and that. And you just hear the sincerity in his voice, and he just felt so sad. And it's like, bro, I know he had a 500 record of 116. He beat Brady twice. I think he's 7th with touchdowns and 6th in total yards. He's a Hall of Famer in my books. And at the end of the day, he's still a Manning, and he fell off awful, but he was good. When Eli was Eli, I wanted him on my team.
Eli has more rings than his brother, and we all know his brother's a better quarterback.
No, they tied.
They each have 2?
Indianapolis. Remember Denver? Payne went to Denver, and he got one.
But I'm saying he won one in Indy as well.
Bro, they beat Chicago.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Oh, you too. You got amnesia or something. Myself. Yeah, they got 2 there. 2, and then he beat Brady twice. And Eli beat Aaron in Lambeau. I don't even think it was Aaron. Excuse me. I think it was Brett in 07 to get to that.
Savage.
He beat Eli was no joke. But other than that, I really have high hopes on Daniel Jones. I scooped up Golden Tate in both of my leagues. He's coming back in week 5. If Daniel Jones doesn't pan out, or if he was doing good in preseason, it doesn't really matter. Golden Tate's going to be that number 1 receiver because he's better than Sterling Shepard. And
Sterling Shepard still got a concussion.
And I really think Daniel Jones will produce, decent numbers as a rookie. But yeah, it just sucks to see that Eli has been benched. I don't want to see him play on another team. I want to see him just groom Daniel Jones and retire at the end of this year. I don't want to see him on another team. I really don't.
I feel so bad for
Unless it's a winning situation. I don't want to see Eli go through what he's been going through for the past 2 years, just losing in New York.
Only
Send
if it's a situation like, where Flacco just went, where you already have a defense that's in place and you just need a plug-and-play quarterback. You need someone better than Case.
The Broncos could easily be 2-0. That's the crazy thing with Flacco, because they lost by 6 points to Oakland, and then they lost because Trubisky, out of all people, took him down the field.
He completed 1 pass on that drive.
And I saw the time ran out, and they still gave him a second left, and he hit the field goal. The Denver Broncos could easily be 2-0. The Bears are really suspect. It doesn't matter how good that defense is. Defense win championships, but if you don't got a quarterback that can't even manage the game, you're lost, you're fried. Trubisky, I'm sorry. You can't even do what Alex Smith used to do. You're fried. But
looking at the other quarterback situations, Big Ben in my division.
Over. If you drafted Juju, I'm sorry, he's not going to be that number 1 receiver. He's going to be a wide receiver too.
I'm fried at this point.
It's depressing. I'm so glad. So much stuff happened. I could have drafted I could have ended up drafting Tyreek and Juju. My season would be over in both of my leagues, and I'm so glad I didn't take them both. But Big Ben gone. I think he'll be back. He could still play the game. I just feel like
I don't know.
he just has to. I feel like he has to find himself again. Like he don't got that AB that he could throw it to. He's gonna have to throw it. He's gonna have to throw it well for Juju because Juju's not on AB's level, and James Conner is not a Le'Veon Bell. So it's like it's hard. He has to actually like play better, but it's really hard because he's 37 years old.
I feel like it's a lot of things in the Big Ben situation. One, I feel like it's kind of some karma. If you never would have got rid of the two Bs, if you don't get rid of Le'Veon and you don't get rid of AB, Ben doesn't go through this. I promise you that much. He does. If anyone saw the video of Ben this past week, my man threw 2 different passes, and as soon as he throws the ball, he grips his forearm like it just
tweeted
exploded.
Saturday before the game. What did I tweet, Willie?
Father Time is probably coming for Ben.
Yo,
And
I don't do voodoo. I didn't wish that upon him. I'm just saying because he was how he looked against New England, and he's just getting old. He's not no Tom Brady. He just looks like he's hurting. Every time he walks in, he looks like he has a leg.
260. I really don't think Ben runs sprints in practice.
I think he has a good. I think he maybe has next year, and that's it. 2 years maybe.
Exactly, because it's just like at this point, Ben is just out here winging it. Mm-hmm. He don't know what the fuck going on. He's like, yo, I had AB. I had the best receiver and the best running back in the game, and I still couldn't win. What's going on?
Couldn't beat Brady.
Like at this point,
couldn't even beat Bortles. Couldn't beat Bortles last year. No, I think it was the year before that. They couldn't beat Bortles.
That's the damn shame.
They couldn't beat the Jaguars. Jalen Ramsey, they had him on.
I don't even think Blake Bortles is in the league right now.
No,
if
he's back up. He's back up for the Los Angeles Rams. They had a tweet saying something about, I don't know what it was, but it said the Jaguars are 0-2 and now Blake Bortles and the Rams are 2-0. And it's like, oh my God, that's just a troll. It's the biggest troll ever.
And then Drew Brees' injury. We talked about it earlier.
That was your fantasy quarterback.
In 2 different leagues that I might add. My man's thumb hit Aaron Donald's hand, and
it's the strongest hand in the world.
Not only, bro, he went to go pick up a football on the sideline, and
it just slipped straight out his foot. It's a ligament. Come on. Oh my God.
Like he can't grip anything? Oh no. Sweet baby Jesus, we don't need this. But all in all, only 6 weeks. It's not Ben's injury. He's not out for the season. As long as Teddy can keep them afloat.
At least you got a good backup quarterback. It's not like just some random who's never had experience. This man used to be a starting quarterback in Minnesota.
If I had to make the argument, you probably have one of the best backups, if not the best backup.
I think you do. Like if you can't, if you're Sean Payton, you're like, okay, we lost, arguably a top 5 quarterback ever for 6 weeks, but
I got someone who
Teddy
was starting.
Play.
Exactly.
And they said they're gonna use him and Hill at the same time, or vice versa on some college shit.
Taysom Hill play every position. I feel so bad for that.
I think the Saints can make it work. They still got them weapons, and like I said, they still have Teddy, and Teddy's really accurate. And you got Michael Thomas, already has 20 catches through 2 games.
Michael Thomas a monster. A monster. That's my fantasy receiver. You feel me?
I got new confidence all day, every day. But going on, we got Thursday night tomorrow at 8:20. You got the Tennessee Titans going to Jacksonville instead of last year when Derrick Henry went to it was in Tennessee and he dropped that crazy 99-yard run. I think he dropped, if it's not 37 points in my league of last year, he dropped 48 fantasy points. I think somewhere along like that. So all I'm hoping for, I'm picking the Jags because I have Leonard Fournette. So I'm just hoping that in Jacksonville tomorrow, instead of it was Derrick Henry this year, please Fournette. I know you got your LSU days still in you. Please break off for 20 plus fantasy points. You dropped 9 week 1. You dropped 10.7. I'm glad you're in the catching game and you're getting your little 4 receptions for 30 to 40 yards. But please, baby Jesus, I need you to ball. You're projected 15. You keep getting projected in the 13 to 15 points and you won't drop that. I need you to break out. You were on this man's team last year and you had 2 back-to-back games of 25 and 26. Before you got injured, you came back, you dropped 25, 26, you fought someone, and then you were out the rest of the year. Please, I don't want any of that to happen. God has been good to you, and you have been healthy and good these past 2 games, but I need that production because you can easily be a top 5 running back in the National Football League with your size. You damn near look 45, but you're 25. Please, you know you could do it. I need that 100-yard game from you tomorrow, and I need at least 1 rushing touchdown. You haven't hit the board yet this year. I need you to get it. Washington State, buddy's gonna get it. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars to win, by at least a tutty.
I could go on and give the same speech about Derrick Henry, but it's real simple. I'm taking Marcus Mariota over Gunnar Minshew, I think that's his name.
I think it's Gunther Minshaw. I don't know. He's from Washington
Bro,
State.
we don't know this man's
You know
name.
the crazy thing?
We just know-
Him and the one from the Jets, both from Washington State. So now I swear, the next Washington
Oh my
State
God,
quarterback
Mike
that's gonna come
Leach.
out, he's gonna
Mike
get drafted
Leach is
first
the
round.
coach at Washington State. He's like, yeah, I just keep sending him to the league. I'm finessing the world,
Oh,
finessing the
come on.
world.
Like literally, they're just like Graham Hill. Like they just like Graham. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
And damn thing. But I got Marcus Mariota and the Titans. I just think that defense and that offense overall should be able to hold it down. I think they're a more well put together team than Jacksonville. Just for the simple fact
I
that
agree. Their defense
they
is
got
crazy.
they got a backup at quarterback, and you got Mariota starting on the other side. That's
True.
really what I think it comes down to. Because both defenses are elite, I feel.
Facts.
No matter if you have Jalen on the field or off the field, Jacksonville is still a great
Yeah.
defense.
Even without Tevin Smith, they're still fire.
They got help. Man, they got. Think about this linebacking core: Telvin Smith, Miles Jack, and the freak rookie from Kentucky, Josh Allen.
Oh, they got Josh. They're
Bro.
the ones who took Josh Allen. Oh yeah, they could still be. If they
They're
had,
terrifying.
dog, I'm telling you, if they had Nick Foles, I swear they would have beat Kansas City, or it would have been a way closer game. And Jacksonville could be a fucking threat in the AFC. But with Nick Foles gone, it sucks. It really sucks because I thought they were gonna be fire this year. Even better when they had Bordeaux because they actually had a quarterback this time.
Yep. But as always, we feel like we covered all our topics for today. Like, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff.
Subscribe on the YouTube channel.
NBF_Trill on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, NBF_Clo on Twitter. Clo_Rogers on Instagram. Nothing but facts on Instagram and on Twitter. You guys have a good day.